When the story broke that there had been this mysterious white substance found at the White House, immediately, I kept it to myself, but immediately I knew who it must have been. It could only be one person. Because over the last 2.5 years, based solely on observed behavior, you could see exactly who it was. Well, to talk about this in detail, we had to go over to the Patreon channel, but it's already starting to leak out through mainstream sources now where exactly this substance that is now confirmed to have been cocaine was found. And it's exactly who I thought it was, because you can see it in behavior. Now, that's all I can really say here. If you would like to watch the video, it's only $1. That's it, $1 per month, even less if you sign up for an entire year. And once again, if you just want to know and check that out, pledge the dollar, check it out. While you're over there, maybe look at one of the other 283 videos. And for the next 90 days, enjoy. And if it's not for you, all 90 days comes right back at you. Fully refundable. First 90 days, no questions asked. We can partner with Vimeo to talk about things that we can't talk about here in ways that we can't talk about them here. There's also a $5 level. There's 4 videos over there now. A little bit more controversial. The imagery is a little bit more meant for those who aren't quite so sensitive to things. So I'll just leave that there. It's not required that you pledge the $5, but those of you who have, God bless you. Thank you guys so much. Humbly, it makes such a huge difference in my life. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate it. So I do have a question, though, because something just broke. This wasn't really what this video was going to be about, but it just broke about an hour or two ago. And it's a question that I just still can't wrap my mind around. Why is Ron DeSantis disloyal, but Mike Pence is not? On 2 separate occasions, both, by the way, have declared that they are running for the nomination for president in 2024. Both Mike Pence and Ron DeSantis. Mike Pence being, of course, the former vice president to Donald Trump. The one everybody loathed and detested and hated for so long after the issue with 2020. During the whole 2020 thing, Ron DeSantis did nothing but stand by Donald Trump, even though he disagreed privately with some of the things that Donald Trump was saying. He still publicly stood by him. Why is Ron DeSantis the disloyal one, but all Donald Trump has ever said now in 2 different occasions about Mike Pence is that he's a nice man who just made a mistake? How can this be? I don't even know if Donald Trump himself could explain this. Can any Trump supporter explain this to me? I double, triple dog dare you. I spent all day looking because I've been thinking about this. This isn't the news that broke recently, but it's what made me include this in this video. I can't find Donald Trump saying one negative thing about Mike Pence in the last year. Not one negative thing whatsoever, but he is all over Governor DeSantis. The guy who actually stood by him while Mike Pence actually questioned him publicly. But what's the story? What broke recently? The Florida GOP is going to demand a loyalty pledge to even be eligible to be on not the ballot you're going to vote on, not the ballot we're going to vote on, but for the delegates. See, to get the delegates to the convention, Donald Trump is going to have to sign a loyalty pledge to support whomever the eventual candidate is, to even be included in the consideration for delegates. And when you then consider the RNC is going to require a loyalty pledge to even be on the debate stage, which we talked about before, that right there to me is the end of any hope Donald Trump has of being the nominee. Because if he's not going to sign a pledge for the RNC to be on the debate stage, he's never going to get any delegates. And that would hand all of Florida's delegates to Governor DeSantis, likely. And that would be the end. Because everything else is going to split. And if he takes all of Florida, and I'm sure there are going to be other states that want that loyalty pledge as well, California will likely be the other one that has a huge amount of delegates. And the RNC, that voting is very different than the voting that you and I do. They don't have write-ins. See, a lot of Trump supporters out there are like, well, I'm just going to write the man's name in and just hope for the best. That's great. I would have a completely different take on Mr. Trump if he wanted to run as an independent. And he wanted to say, you know what, I can't deal with the Republicans. I can't deal with the Democrats. I can't be part of that whole system. I want to run as an independent and take my chances that way. Okay. I could at least, it might not work, but at least I could respect it. You see, it's very different than what Ross Perot did. Ross Perot did what Ross Perot did to sink George Bush, and he even said that he did it that way. Ross Perot wasn't trying to be president. Ross Perot was trying to keep George Bush from being president and handing the presidency to Bill Clinton. And that's exactly what happened. So, anyway, wasn't at all what this video was going to be about today, but I thought it was worth, at least humbly, asking the question of Trump supporters. Not trying to get you all riled up, not trying to make you mad. I just want to know why is this guy a nice man? He said it twice. Donald Trump said it twice. Not only did he say it on the interview on CNN with, what's her name? He said it at a NRA convention in Indianapolis. Said the same thing. And he's also running. Now, he's polling in single digits, Mike Pence is. But why has Donald Trump not said one negative thing about Mike Pence? But he has about Governor DeSantis. I guess I just don't get that, but something's coming. Something is coming. This year, and even for Florida, it has been unbelievably hot. And with everything going on around the world right now, if we were to see just one stretch of days, it's only early July, late June. We've already had the 4 hottest days ever recorded on the planet. If we were to lose a large portion of the power grid because of demand, air conditioning and all sorts of other things, that would be all it would take for the other events in the world, like the Chinese to take advantage of that, to go after Taiwan. The last 4 days in a row have been the 4 hottest days ever recorded. See, it doesn't matter whether you believe it's man-made global warming or if it's global warming that's happening naturally because it's a natural cycle. It's happening. Even Antarctica. It's winter in Antarctica, and there was a temperature recorded down there of 43 degrees Fahrenheit. 11 degrees above freezing, meaning melt, during Antarctic winter. Imagine what's going to happen in Antarctic summer. The average global temperature was above 17 degrees, 62 degrees. And this was from the 4th of July. The last 4 days, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, have been the 4 warmest on record. Now, we're enjoying a bit of a brief respite here. Right now, it's only about 84 degrees. We had a nice rainstorm. It's a little bit overcast. But there's other evidence. This was you'd have to probably be paying attention to southern Florida to have remembered this. It was only about a month or so ago that the flooding was so bad in Miami, they flew a drone over it at night. There was a huge, miles-long stretch of Miami's main highway right by the beach where you could just see cars that were just floated off everywhere. It looked like a tsunami had hit. I mean, the water had come in and it had stayed. This is from inteldrop.org. Mark my words, if this would happen, people are going to stop talking about the Constitution real fast when there's no air conditioning for a week in the middle of summer. Watch how fast people change their tune about these camps. If they're climate controlled and they have electricity and it's 3 square meals, you mark my words, people will change. And I think what surprised a lot of people is the events of 2020. A lot of people thought there were more folks who would have risen up and pushed back. It was only one state, Florida, that pushed back against the federal government. I mean, truly, and got anything done. I mean, there were other states that said they did, but they didn't really. Texas kind of tried to work with us a little bit. But truly, I think when something like this happens, 77% right now of American youth don't even qualify for military service. What do you think is going to happen when the power goes out for a week or 2 weeks and there's no internet? And there's nothing to scroll. It's going to be the first order of business. It's going to be the first demand people have. They'll say, I don't care what you do. They'll say, I don't care what rights you take away. I don't care what constitutional principle you burn. Just get the lights turned back on. Just get the computers running. Get the internet back up again. That'll be the most important. Nothing else will matter. And I think that'll shock a lot of people. I really do. It's something that's in America that surprises a lot of people who come from other countries. How Americans are so addicted to their luxuries, to the detriment of everything else. And what will really be the key, and I brought this image up just because it was the best one I could find. I know it's from World of Warcraft, but long term, a lot of preppers, their houses, wherever they have everything stored, they're going to turn into local trading posts. And it'll be a great place for those that have malintent to gather intelligence. So those of you out there, be careful. Be very careful about wanting to be. I know it's a good idea to want to be a blessing to your neighbors, those who are in need, those who want to not have to go to a camp, not have to leave their homes. But there are going to be those out there that are going to go on fishing expeditions. They're going to bring a few things with them to trade, and they're just going to want to see everything you have to trade. And that's, people are going to be like, well, look what I prepped. I prepped this, I prepped that, I prepped this other. And people are going to want to be proud of themselves. They're going to be like, look, this is, this is what we were telling people to do for a long time, and here's all this literature, and we're going to have all this different things. And of course, all the internet stuff's going to be gone, but people are going to take it as an opportunity to try to proselytize. And these guys that are looking to just gain the intel, they'll sit and listen all day long. And then they'll come back 3 or 4 or 5 days later with a group of guys at 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Or they'll come through the gate first. They'll come through the gate first because you know them. And they'll make like everything's fine and friends and say, oh, we got these other guys. They're also real good patriots. They're all preppers. And because you trust the one, you'll trust the rest of them. And then when that happens, and once they get inside your gates, so to speak, that's going to be the problem. So I just wanted to throw that warning out there. I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about, the tactic I'm talking about. But we won't be able to talk about these things when the power goes down. So I figure, if it would happen tomorrow, at least it was the last thing I said. Would be some good advice to keep your eyes open for those that may not have your best interest in mind, but know how to talk to you to make you think like they do. That's really the key. And it's kind of what I'm seeing with this. It really is. I see this idea that those who still support the guy in the middle they have blinders on. They're very myopic. And anybody who would come through their gates, who come to them, who would seem like they were a like mind of supporting Donald Trump, they would trust them in every other possible way too. They would say, oh, this person's also a Trump supporter. He's on the right team. He's a good guy. He's with me. He knows, he's been awoke. He's red pilled or whatever you want to call it. And they're going to take advantage of that. That inability to say, well, is he just saying that? What's their real intent? So I will leave it there. God bless everyone. Thank you so much for those of you who have joined us at the Patreon channel. I wish it were not a necessity, but it is. It is just the reality, and that's why I've set it at the lowest allowable possible level to invite as many people as I can. It's even less than $1 per month if you sign up for an entire year. It comes up to 90 cents. It's like 3 pennies a day. So, would love to have you, and it would make a huge difference. I try to put up content very regularly up there, once a week, sometimes twice a week. Sometimes it's every 10 days. But there's, like I said, we've been doing it now for 3 or 4 years, pretty solid. And there's 280 videos over there that would not make it here at YouTube. It would have probably gotten me kicked off YouTube already. So, and it's a wide range of subjects. So I will leave it there. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.